WikiPakk 2.10 adds a new feature, automatic grouping of news posts by date. There's a separate video available showing how that looks in the tree and how it works. This video is about configuring two things you might want to change about the automatic grouping. So let's have a quick look at the hierarchy. By default, the node where you get the date-based hierarchy, the root node, is called news and got a little newspaper symbol. So there's an option to change that if you want to change the symbol or if you want to change the label here. And then there's a second configuration option to turn that new feature off if you don't like it. So let's have a look at how to configure those two things. First of all, to get to the settings, you open the page tree and then you find this question mark here, click the question mark, go to this About dialog, and you have a section here called WikiPakk Settings. Click Check Settings List Setup Status, and in my case, there is already a list. You have to create this list first, at least with this release of WikiPakk. You have some manual tasks to do. Please refer to the documentation on how to do that. But if this list is present and you get a green check mark here, you can click this View Settings List link, and it will open the site collection where the settings list resides. And in my case, it is the WikiPakk configuration site that I created, and WikiPakk knows that the WikiPakk settings list is there. And now there are two things I can do. The first one I want to do is I want to change the title root node, and that can be done by adding a new item to this list. The title doesn't matter actually, so setting key should be tree.nodes.news.root.title, and then you can enter something here, new news title. And that's basically it. There's one important thing to know. Now, when switching back here, you close settings dialog, reload the page, and your expectation probably is that now the news node has a different label. This is not the case because the settings are cached for about a day. And let's take a shortcut and delete this locally cached settings. So using the developer tools that you open by pressing F12 in Edge or in Chrome, navigate to application, then find the local storage of your SharePoint site, and then look for the WikiPakk entry, and this is wikipakk.settings, and let's delete that. So close the developer tools. Now you reload the page, and now when looking at the page tree, you can see it picked up the new title. So this is one way of customizing how that looks. Now let's say you don't like this new feature, you just want to turn it off. You can do that as well. There is a second option you can add here, and this is tree.nodes.news.enable, and you set that to false. Save the setting here, then go back to the developer tools, to the application tab, to the local storage, to the SharePoint site. Find WikiPakk settings again, delete that entry, and reload the page, or alternatively wait 24 hours so for the settings to refresh. So after changing the settings for your users, it will take about a day for those settings changes to take effect, because you cannot go to any client, to all client workstations, and delete the settings there. This is just to make it appear faster here in the demo. So you reload the page, expand the page tree button, and now you see how it looks without this grouping. You get all news pages at the root because news have no parent page, at least here. And those are the two settings you can configure. If you want to undo those, that's easy. Just go back here, delete the entries, then it falls back to using default values. Again, to make that happen immediately, I have to once again delete the cached settings here, reload the page, and then the default news title with the newspaper symbol is back, and also the hierarchy appears. And this is how you configure the new date-based hierarchy for news pages in WikiPakk.